I wrote trauma as a sort of letter to myself. I wanted it to serve as a reminder that I shouldn't let my past define who I am and who I want to be. So I was actually a little bit apprehensive about sharing this with people at first, because obviously it's a very personal experience I have. And part of me wanted to keep it that way, but I feel like getting it out there, it'll help my fans, help others know that they aren't alone in their trauma. Growing up, I never had a lot of money. I never had a phone, always was a little hungry. Used to find it hard to sleep when I could hear my mother sobbing. I was 10 back then. I grew up in poverty for most of my childhood. I didn't get to have a lot of things. I didn't get to have my own bedroom. My little brother and I, our beds were like literally in the living room. And there were nights where my mom, she'd come sit at the dining table, which was also in the living room. She'd just like cry for hours. But the school did give discounted lunch prices to us, so it wasn't all that bad. I didn't have a room, had to buy you shoes. I hid behind tunes to avoid abuse. And every time I fell, I would blame it on myself, even if it was an accident. I felt like a lot of things were just my fault. Like I would blame myself for not having money, like it was my fault. Even if it was accidental, if I did something like a mistake, a simple mistake that everyone makes, I would take it so personally and sort of hate myself for making this mistake or accident. Maybe it's not what I want, or I've seen better days, and the moment fucking sucks. But I'll be damned if I don't stop, and honestly, why not, when nobody gives a fuck? I feel like people are always judging me and always thinking things about me, but it's just not true. People don't give a fuck. Everyone's just living life the same way you are. But sometimes I just can't help myself. I wanna give up trying and start doing something else. Sometimes I just get overwhelmed. Yeah, I know it's in my mind, but I think I need some help. There are a lot of times in my life where I just want to give up. The biggest thing for me was realizing that I can ask for help. You can ask for help. There are people out there who want to help you. Sometimes I just can't help myself. I was an outcast, thrown out to dry and get laughed at. That verse is just like pretty much about high school. High school was rough. I felt like I was worthless, or I wasn't worth as much as my peers. Too shy to talk about home. I always thought life was supposed to be cold, and oh, I've been so lost without hope. I got a window in my head, it's a casket. You know I be wishing I was dead, but I mask it. When I write about wanting to be dead and masking it, I mean it metaphorically. I wouldn't tell people about how I felt. And as evidenced by this, I'm literally wearing a mask. Because it's all I know, my hands around my throat. Pray that I won't let go this time around. But every single time I try to shut my eyes, I see the reason why I'm not alone. Growing up, I had a lot of suicidal thoughts, especially in high school. My parents were arguing and fighting all the time. My friend group was very toxic. And I was getting bullied and getting into physical fights with people. And overall, it was just not a good state of mind to be in. But I think throughout all of it, the silver lining is that all these experiences helped shape the person I am today. I'm working on taking this trauma and the bad things that have happened to me and turning it into music. I'm working on an album, actually. It's a very, very personal project of things that have happened to me in my past and my traumas. And I hope that people, when they listen to it and the songs in it, that they really resonate and feel that they are not alone in their experience. This has been therapeutic to talk about. This sort of thing usually costs me money. It's like $150 per session.